If you haven't met before, my name is Katie. I own Junk to Jewels, which is a DIY workshop, and we're located in beautiful Northwest Arkansas, and I also help other creative women run, grow, expand their handmade businesses. That's just what I love to do. I love to share DIYs. Tonight, I have a fun, kind of a hack for you. So I'll explain what we're doing here in a bit. I'm going to pull up my comments over here because we had a little technical flub getting started. Is that better? Everybody says, yay, I can see me clear. There's my sister on there. I was just telling everybody that I spent most of my Saturday volleyballing with my sister's kiddos. She had a work thing, and so I got to escort my nieces and my nephew to volleyball today. But I'm sneaking away in my craft room for a little bit for day 6 of our 8 days in a row of live projects. Okay, let's see if I can get some comments over here and be able to read y'all's names. Thank you for coming back. I see some faces. Hey, Mendy, how are you? And Anne is watching. Okay. Deborah says that's better. Very clear. Okay. I know that I have to shut off the Wi-Fi here. I don't know why I didn't do that, but Okay, but I was asking y'all if you are getting crafty at all on today. Did you make anything? If I didn't share it already, I will share today a link where you guys can post pictures of anything that you've made or projects you'd like to see me make. I mean, I always think if you're baking, creating, whatever kind of making you do, I mean, I don't care if you make bath bombs or chicken noodle soup. Like, I just love to see what y'all make. So every weekend I try to put up at least one post that will allow you to share in that way. Okay, so what I got here, thanks Bonnie, she's sharing again. Oh, Brandy did, she did a baby shower and she did crafts. Oh, Megan is tingling from sanding. Did you use like a rotary type sander? Sometimes I get the vibrating hand afterwards, yeah. Okay, so let me tell you what I got going because I got to do a little sanding actually. So I have one of our medallion door hangers. And you can order unfinished from our website if this is something that you can't cut out. But it's more about the technique tonight, but you're more than welcome to pick up any of our unfinished door hanger shapes from our website. But I have this medallion piece. You can tell it's pretty big, like 24 by 24. And I'm going to show you how to add faux planks. So if you're thinking about like, I'm going to make it look like it's slats of wood versus one flat piece. So there are some times where you might just have a flat piece of wood, and wouldn't it look cooler, better, more awesomer if you could add some planks. And that is something that we've done a long time for like picture frames in the studio. Like we make those out of MDF, and it's a really great surface to do this trick on too. So it's pretty easy, but I always like to help you guys put like tools in your toolbox for whatever crafty project you may be working on, or if you're coming in the studio and you can try something out, you know, try something new. Okay, you guys are excited. Oh, yay. Hey, Kim. Okay, Felicia's good. I'm going to turn on this. It's going to be a little bit loud, okay? Hang on. Even surface, so just stress how you like, or it's not totally necessary. I would say I did like 1.5 coats on the background here, not super thick, because I may even do like a baby wipe stain method over top. So it's nice to have some of that wood grain coming through, but this is gonna be totally transformed with what we're about to do. So you need your wood surface. Like I said, it could be MDF. This is kind of a plywood base, and or whatever you have, and that you want to make it look like pieces of wood, right? So maybe you're repainting over something, put that base coat down, and then y'all can do this, okay? Deb is painting a door hanger tonight. That's fun. Rita's playing with some chalk couture. Cool. I love it. And thank you for sharing, Michelle. So we, as part of the fun of our 8 days in a row of lives, we're doing a lot of giveaways. So those will happen Monday night. But for everybody who's sharing, I'm just collecting all those names and shares, and I'll give away some fun Junk to Jewels stuff, some Boxwood Reese, some maybe things I made. So, you know, share away. Okay, so I'm trying to think about this. Did I say it's 24 inches? Let me just double check, because math is not my friend sometimes. Okay, yeah, about 24 inches. So you want to pick for your piece, however it may be, something that's even. So we're gonna do a little bit of math. So I could do 4-inch planks or 6-inch planks. Even 3-inch planks, right? Would fit in this. I'm thinking 4-inch would look nice. So let's go 4-inch. Does that sound good? 4-inch planks? Hey, Charlotte. Charlotte is making an autism door hanger for her cousin. Okay, are you doing like a puzzle piece shape, or what are you making? I know April is Autism Awareness Month, and I have a teenage daughter, and I don't ever want to embarrass her, but y'all have seen Kaya, and she jumps in here a lot, and she actually has Asperger's. So she's, you know, diagnosed on the autism spectrum. So it's something we've dealt with since she was 4. She has come a heck of a long way, but that girl works really hard. I always want to say to be normal, but it's like her own version of normal. Like to get through the day where things are overwhelming to her, or, you know, just it affects every child differently. And it's just, it's fascinating to me how her brain works. And I love that she notices little things, and I love that she is obsessive with animals and things like that. So if you hear me talk about how much she loves animals, it's just on a whole nother level. That for her is like her thing. So if you know anything about autism or Asperger's, usually they have some sort of fixation, and it can just vary for what that is, and hers happens to be animals. Charlotte is doing a puzzle piece. So yeah, the puzzle piece is the symbol for autism awareness, and April's Autism Awareness Month. So if you have anything going on in your community or your kids' schools and things like that, like learn more about it. I think it's really powerful if you can teach your kids compassion and understanding, because these kids, a lot of them just look normal. Kaya obviously looks like an average 16-year-old, and pretty much talks and acts like an average 16-year-old, but her like social maturity is at least a couple years behind typically. So it can be a lot more when they're younger, and it's very rare in girls too. A lot more times it's boys, but yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that was my little rant. She is an awesome kid, and I just think, you know, it's a part of her, and even that puzzle piece is symbolic. Like that's just one little piece of her puzzle, and it's, you know, sometimes why she is the way she is. I can't imagine her without that, but I wouldn't even call it a disability. I mean, she just, it's an interesting thing. It's just part of, so ingrained in her of those things. Oh yeah, Nikki is saying her son loves video games and math and money and uses amazing words. Yes. So Kaya will learn anything that is fascinating to her. She will research on an obsessive level. And when I talk about fascinating to her, she really wants chickens. And she has about written a whole notebook full of all the things we need to know about chickens when we make a chicken coop. When to feed them, what kind of habitat they need, what temperature, you know, how long it takes them to grow. I mean, it's just fascinating. And the same thing, like when we were getting our German Shepherd, like she researched all these breeds of dogs and how you train them and things like that. So it is interesting. Marilyn says she lost half of her bunny. You may have to send me a picture, and we can see what it looks like. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm doing so far. As far as supplies here, I would recommend a small angled brush. I'm probably using a 1/4 inch angled brush here. I like the angles. You could do a 1/2 inch. I'd probably start with smaller so you feel like you have control. So I just kind of measured up 4 inches because we decided we were going to make 4-inch faux planks on our medallion here. And I just did one little black mark with the paint to kind of mark for myself where those lines are going to be. And then what you want to do is make a thin line like I got my first one here so you can kind of see. You're gonna make this thin line just as straight as you can across whatever surface. Okay. So I'm using that angle brush and I'm just pressing and dragging the full length. You don't want to try to be picking up, just like commit to the line. If you've heard me say that before, like that's the straightest way to make lines is if you really commit to it. You don't pick it up, you press, drag through the ends, okay? So we are going here. And you could use a yardstick. That would be a little bit easier than the ruler, but I didn't have a yardstick at my house. The shop, of course, I have a dozen of them. But anyway, yardstick would be preferable if it goes the whole span, then we don't have to do this moving situation. So right now we're getting our black lines down. So you could do this also with chocolate brown or like a charcoaly gray if you want, whatever you like. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for sharing, Jody. You were a heck of a cheerleader for me, and I appreciate that. Okay, just gonna make sure that this one's closer to me. I'm hoping these are pretty straight. I'm not spending a ton of time analyzing this for straightness here. Okay, so we kind of got our black lines down. I want you to see the whole thing. So you would just do that. I mean, that already looks like to you guys like that it might be pieces of wood, right? But we got some more details that we can do. So this is really simple. I always think like lettering is probably on the scale of like if we were saying 1 to 10 of hard paint techniques. Lettering, painting letters and words is closer to that 10. That's going to take a lot of practice, investment in skill and the right brushes and paint and all that. This is like a 3. We can do this. We can do this. Bonnie needed this trick earlier today. Okay, so now my lines are still kind of damp. What I would do is take a slightly bigger brush, so I'll get that 1/2" angled brush or a 1/2" flat brush, and you're just gonna kind of smudge these out. And a lot of times, I mean, I like to watch makeup videos on YouTube with my daughter. So this is kind of like, I refer to makeup stuff a lot. I'm like, blend it out, like when you're doing your things, you know? Like if I was smoking my eyeliner, I would just kind of run any damp paint. I'm just taking the brush where it's wide here and then just rubbing it back and forth to kind of buff out any damp paint. There's not a ton, but it kind of makes that smoky. It starts to add some dimensional. You can add a tiny bit of paint to your brush if you want. I'm putting it on the table first. We're just going to add a little bit of shadowy depth to that, okay? So, like I said, if you're doing one line at a time, you could probably get away with not adding paint to your brush, but I needed a little bit more paint to even get that smoky going on. I'll hold it up. Oh, that was a little much right there. My non-perfectionism is gonna let that go. So you come with a hard, firm line in the center, and then just barely smoke it out around it. If that makes sense. I'm gonna show you a couple of these. So I'm working on the top 3 here, and these I haven't done yet. So do you start to see like that? Okay. So I'm gonna get these top ones. Hey. All right. So can you think of a project that you would want to make faux plank? Like I said, we did MDF picture frames. They were one of the most popular items we had for classes, probably for the first 3 years that we did classes. And funny enough, like this Friday night, several people requested to make those, so people did them. Kind of the shaped scallopy one, kind of similar to this shape, but it was a picture frame with like a flat background, and it was MDF, and a lot of people would want those to be painted like barnwood. But MDF has its limitations as far as like you can't really stain it and stuff, so this is fun if you don't want to do like a whole background stencil on something, or the wood may be like not perfect. Okay, so I've kind of got all my lines smoked out there. And now I want to take a little bit bigger brush. I don't have a super crappy chippy brush. And this is one of I'll tell you. Dang it. I tell you, I save these brushes, and I know they're like $1 or less. But I like really stiff and cruddy ones for this job. I think I actually might give this one a haircut, so it can do the job a little bit better for me. So a really stiff, dried out, cruddy one would be ideal for this part. So I'm gonna give it a little haircut. You can also do the haircut if like it got stiff on the end, like, and you don't want that. To extend the life of your brush, you could also give it a haircut. So not even or anything like that. It's just a little more coarse and dense. So maybe that's what I like, right? The paint that I'm using is the Sherwin-Williams samples. That's what I used on the background, and that's the Tricorn Black I have here. Getting acrylic paint dried out of paintbrushes. So Celie says that her favorite recipe, she uses soaking her in alcohol. I have not even tried that. I would be willing to try that. So the recipe that we use in the studio, because we have customers who come in and our brushes get some abuse. And they sit out for some hours sometimes. So we soak ours, like the solution that we put on tables is water with a little bit of Dawn dish soap and a little bit of, what is the, why can't I think of the word? Hey John. I know the word. Why can't, Murphy's oil. That's what it is. I don't even need the help. So Murphy's oil, and I've heard good things about fabric softener. So it doesn't need much, but just like, and you don't want to soak your brushes like all the way up to here. Like try to keep it to where it's just gonna get your brushes. But anyway, so try mixing some of those like diluted things into water and just like soaking them a while. So a lot of times if we get brushes that are really hardened, we'll just fill up a bucket and put some of that mixture together and let them soak overnight in the shop sink. Okay, so now what we're doing here, you guys are gonna start seeing how this is coming together. I've got my haircut brush. I dipped it in a little bit of black paint. Then I kind of offloaded on the table. So I want very little, because you can always add more. It's a little bit harder to take it off. And I want to just kiss the ends of this board. So I'm going to get most of the paint right near the edge, and every once in a while, if I want to like do a stroke out, I can. But it's more 1, 2, 3, you know, then do a little stroke, because I want it mostly concentrated around the end. And I'm staying all one direction. I don't ever do the opposite. You can try it, but I stay, you know, like how the plank would be. I want you to see already. Okay, so this is the side that I've been working on over here. And these don't have any kisses yet. So each step of the way. Okay, now I moved it over here. Sorry, it's confusing. Hey Dana. Hi Heather. Angela, did that help you out? This group is very crafty and talented. So I always love when you guys ask questions in here, because it's more than just like, you don't have to put me on the spot. They can all share what works for them too. So it's an awesome community. And I think I talked the other night in here, I hope I did, that I'm going to be starting a free Facebook group that's going to be more about just decorating and home decor. So if you are like me, it's just really one of my passions. And I know that not everybody who wants to come to a workshop at Junk to Jewels, you know, is necessarily, some of them just want to come for a fun night out. That might be you. But I know that there's a huge amount of you in here that just love decor like me and want to see like seasonal mantles and tablescapes and, you know, learn about things other than what workshops we have coming up. So I think that Facebook group is going to allow us to do some fun things, and I can bring in like some of my expert smart friends, my smarty pant friends you see in here, right? Mackenzie, these wood shapes are sold on the website. This one's called a medallion. If you don't see it on there, I should have checked before the video. I think we have like over 75 door hanger shapes, and not nearly all of them are on the website, but you can also order any of them and put in the notes that you want the medallion that you saw in the video. But I will try to make sure that it is added there. You guys starting to see that top? Oopsie. Got under my paint here. So a little bit of Sherwin-Williams paint, a couple paint brushes, and we're just very little paint dragging on the ends. Then you kind of swoop across. It's my technique. 1, 2, 3, swoop. And just very gentle as far as like the touch. I'm not pressing this brush down or anything like that, like I did when we made the sharp, crisp black lines in the centers, okay? But I think anybody who sees this would think this is pieces of wood versus just one solid MDF, okay? So another tip here while we're doing it, so I kind of have done it evenly around the outside, that little dry brushing technique there. I'm gonna go back in with that, probably the medium brush, and just make it a little more dense around the ends of each of the lines, the slats that I created. I just like that where it looks a little more piecey on the ends. So I'm gonna go back to that smaller brush, I think. And even if you think like, if you want more of the smoky on that, you could probably take your little brush here and it just adds a little bit of depth and dimension. We're using our different brush. Each applies paint in a slightly different way, so you're gonna get a little bit different look. And you'll get a feel for it. Like this, like I said, this might practice a couple times and then you're gonna be good to go on this technique, okay? Yes, did somebody ask about the home decor idea? Okay, Melissa wants in, yay, okay. Veronica, okay. So you guys totally get my heart because I just love decorating and I just don't want to be, I know, I have just kind of a mixed audience. And so like the ladies that live locally, I love y'all and you are welcome to come to the group, but I know a big portion of them are just, you know, setting up workshops or coming to the workshop to have a fun girls' night out. But then I know there's a big part of you too. Like when you're sharing this, we're meeting ladies from all over the place and becoming an eclectic group. And so I want to be able to serve both of you with the right type of information. So I'm just, yeah, I love that. Okay, we're gonna dive in, Brandy. Isn't that gonna be fun? Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna just make this a little heavier. I'm going back to my little medium brush here. I'm just gonna kind of drag along the ends of these to thicken it up just a bit. I hope you guys can see on camera how cool this looks because I love it. So I'm using a door hanger base tonight. I'm not even gonna finish it. We ordered pizza. I gotta go eat some dinner. But I just want you to see the background. So maybe another night I'll put on some stencil and we can like finish it out. Maybe you guys can help me pick the theme for this one. So you guys want to pick a theme? We did hello on the yellow and like buffalo plaid gingham door hanger yesterday. If you didn't see that, I think that might be my favorite project so far for the 8 days. But if you guys want to help me pick a theme, what do you have coming up? I even was considering doing something for, we could do, this one's kind of a weird one for Teacher Appreciation. I was trying to think of the things coming up. We have Teacher Appreciation, Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, all in the next few weeks. But it's also like spring, or if you need an everyday door hanger inspiration, let me know. Mackenzie suggests floral. I do. What did you try to replicate? The plaid, Felicia? She had a craft fail. It happens to me too. Just saying. So I love this. I think that it's one of those things you can't be too perfect about. Oh, I think you can see pretty good right there. Look. That, you guys, doesn't this look like this is a piece of wood we put together? Like 6 pieces of wood? I love it. So, okay, it's garden inspired I'm seeing. You guys are having all sorts of good suggestions. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Y'all are so sweet. Linda, I'm 90% done with the brick project. Tomorrow, I'm gonna finish it, and I'll bring it home so you guys can see the 100% finished brick project. Okay. I like have this. I did trim. I stained that. I did a little more to the cow, and we just gotta put it together and hang it up. So Megan's saying Mother's Day. So Megan, like a gift that you would give to your mom, or what would you like to put on your door? Or like gift to somebody else. Evelyn, we would love to have you in our shop. I probably get requests like every day about, come here, I wish you were here. So this is as close as we get for a lot of us. But I love hanging out with you guys too. I feel like you know my friends and you know me. So, oh, Mother's Day quote would be really cool. And I like this background for like a quote or multiple words would be really nice. But this is pretty quick. Like I did, like I said, a coat and a half of white paint. I sanded it just for the purpose of if we're going to put a stencil on it, I want it to be pretty smooth. So white paint, sand it a little bit, and then a little bit of black paint. And I mean, words are going to show up on this well. We could put like a mossy monogram or a mossy initial on there, like 3D would be really cool. Oh yeah, you guys have all sorts of good input. Okay, so I will go through the comments. Even if you're not watching live, leave suggestions and we'll try to finish this up. So we have lots of finishing up of the brick project, of this. You love farmhouse decor too, Lisa? Me as well. So we could do something farmy on here. This would be cute. Look at, Lisa suggested a rooster. It'd be very cute. Somebody else likes the moss. All right, I love it. So yeah, we have lots of fun things. I'm trying to think. I don't know for sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow, but I'm gonna be out in the evening. So I'll be here tomorrow night again. Usually about 7:30 is what works out. So I will be here at 7:30 tomorrow, and then Monday night for sure 7:30. And we're gonna draw for all our giveaways for those of that you have shared and commented and participated with us. I'm so excited to gift y'all some fun things. I'll have to get out my chicken scratch to-do list for what my project is tomorrow. But anyway, you guys will have been voting and commenting for a theme for this guy, and we'll finish that up. I can show y'all a bow, whatever you want to do. I did share a video for my friend Melissa before we came on here, and I say my friend, I've never met her in real life, and this is like, I love the internet because like crafting is like just a language that transcends like distance and location. Like somebody was watching, I don't know, from Austria or something the other day, which is awesome. So Melissa, I've never met in real life, but she's in my handmade business boot camp group. I'm trying to help her grow her handmade business, and it's called Making House a Home, I think, or making something like that. I tagged her in the previous post. I don't want to get it wrong, but I watched her video the other night, and she was just talking about her heart and like the vulnerability that she feels about getting on a Facebook Live and sharing her stuff. But I know like her character is so awesome, and I feel like I knew her so much better after watching that video, and how she's pushing herself and how she wants to be an example for her kids to, you know, she wants to do homeschool for them and still have her business. And I think that as moms, a lot of times we lay aside dreams and passions to be moms and stuff. But I know that being a mom and being a full-time mom for my daughter was what led me to crafting and making handmade my business and my job. So anyway, I just think you guys will love her. And then my friend, also Allison, this is how I got on this tangent, this is how my brain works. She is doing bows all week long, showing you how to make bows. So I'm always up for a good bow tutorial. I can make several kinds, but I love to watch other people make them and kind of see their thought process between mixing materials and how they put them together. And always like, it's like tying your shoe. You can do it a million different ways, and you know. But so I will tag her, so you guys, if you're interested in making bows, we may be able to go learn from Allison. So anyway, okay. I've chatted enough. I'm gonna go eat my pizza before it's too cold. You guys have a good rest of your Saturday night, and I will see you tomorrow.